about SPLOS as a means of funding infrastructure, number one, and the improvements, and how is it currently being managed? What's your observation of that?
SPLOS overall, it's not being managed very well. We don't really understand where the money's going, and we could use some more accountability for that. We used to have a committee that kept an eye on it, and it'd be great if we got that committee back to keep an eye on the SPLOS money. Overall, I'd like who's responsible for the growth to pay for it. I'd like to have some impact fees to cover the new growth. I don't think the rest of Glynn County should be responsible for the cost of what's happening on St. Simon's Island and the explosive growth that's going down over there. I want impact fees. Everybody wants some impact fees. It's only fair. We shouldn't have to pay for the new growth.
To pay for it, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's being managed properly?
I support it because it provides an opportunity to help defray the cost of some of the infrastructure needs if the taxpayers don't have to foot the whole bill. Is it being managed well? I would cop out a little bit and say I think it's being managed better than it was. There's always room for improvement. I think the county has made an effort this time around to be more visible with the public in terms of this.
And yes, to SPLOS, it is as George said, I'll echo what he had to say, is that it's a way to defray the costs for people who are paying the taxes in the county, essentially. So our visitors help fund projects that are identified in SPLOS. How well is it running? Well, as a citizen, I look at it and they report out periodically by the projects, on track, off track. Now for me, with my background, frankly, I'd rather see more granularity. It may exist within staff. When I watch the SPLOS update meetings, there's no challenges from anybody who happens to sit there and listens to the update. So I'm comfortable that it's running pretty good considering how the last group of projects was managed. This one's going quite well. Again, for me, it needs to be more granularity to satisfy me.
Visitor, we mentioned tourism. How do you feel about Glynn County's history and success with attracting visitors, some of which are one-time tourists, some become seasonal returnees, and some of them decide to retire here? Are we on the right path? Do you suggest any changes?
We depend on tourism. I think that the Convention and Visitors Bureau does a great job of attracting people. I think that they have reached a point where they don't need to keep trying so hard. The amount of money that they get out of the bed tax, they're always asking for more to do more, and they do a good job with it. But I think we should be giving them only what they are required to get under law, and let the rest of it be used for the rest of the county.
And is not allowed this side, which is a short-term rental. But anyway.
We're going to get specific about that.
Okay, good.
That's the next question.
Tourism is really what drives our economy. It really is. And certainly on the islands. And again, you want me to talk about Glynn County.
You're running that large, are you not?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I think that maybe, and I have some ideas about this, that we can do some things, some clever things. They're very artistic, talented people in Glynn County. Maybe have chili cook-offs or things like that off the islands, but not necessarily in the city of Brunswick.
Oversubscribed, in my view, for the tourism, particularly for St. Simon Sea Island. Our Convention and Visitors Board has done an excellent job of attracting people here. Many people have moved here since 1976, and we've had waves after waves of folks come here to become residents. What I think we can do more of is divert some of those dollars to the mainland and promote our mainland portion of the county, where I think it's probably lacking from what it could be. So, as far as the tax dollars go, there's the tax law that exists about those dollars is basically you collect it from that industry, it's gotta be used to promote that industry, tourism, than, the two islands.
Okay.
That the islands have enough tourism. And we could use more over in Glynn County. I think it's interesting on social media, they'll ask questions about, well, they'll ask on the islands, we're coming down, what should we do? And everyone has great answers for them, what they need to do, what tourist activities there are to do. But occasionally you get a question, well, we're gonna be in Brunswick, what are we gonna do in Brunswick? And they always inevitably, they might say this one restaurant, Reed's, thank you, we'll stick with Reed's. Yeah, they suggest that one, and overall, they don't really suggest anything else, they suggest going to the islands. So like everybody here said, we need to focus our money and the tourism on the mainland. There's lots of opportunities there. We have the waterfront down by the port, and the downtown is just gorgeous, and it's got a lot of history, and it needs to be maximized more, and also to give the tourists that already come down here another place to go and visit while they're here. So more options to do.